Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining Cafecito Chats. I see Mr. Leo Soto representing Barcelona over there, and the ship swag that he's got a hat. So that's awesome, fantastic. Yeah, but you can't beat this right here. Where is it at? Right there. Yeah. So today's topic, this is going to be the last one for 2024. Thank you for joining. So that being said, we had good, bad, awesome, great, something not so great. Each one of us can definitely share some insight and perspective on personal achievements, personal defeats, personal learning opportunities, and things that we look forward to. Maybe possibly every year, everybody has during the new year has new goals to actually achieve. So we can start sharing, and you don't have to do it new year. You can actually start thinking about it right now. And I know that over the last couple years and conversations, everybody here that I talk to, they normally have a list of things that they want to accomplish before the new year actually even kicks off, right? And in order for that to happen, there's got to be some sort of actionable items in a timely fashion. So that's what we're going to be doing here today, just retrospective, what actually you want to share that maybe didn't go so great, and maybe learning opportunities for others, learning moments for you, and possible goals that you're setting yourself up for the upcoming 2025, right? So let's see, let's start with Leo, Mr. Barcelona over there. How's it going?
Hey, Lázaro, things are going great. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So I think the question kind of reflected on what do I have planned for next year, or what are some things that didn't go so well this past year, et cetera. So one of the key things I'll just talk about kind of in alignment with the professional world. Every year I always kind of set like professional goals, but then also some personal ones. From a professional standpoint, I'll say what probably didn't go so well, but not drastically, was I'm sure we've all seen the news about some of the issues going on in the aerospace industry. We'll put it that way, and several companies being hit worse than others. What happened with me, I kind of hit like a stalemate position in which I'm kind of just stuck. You can say, I won't say stuck, but for lack of a better word, I'll say stuck, but I'm kind of just stalemated right now. I'm in a certain position right now where I have no mobility, really for the foreseeable future. So what didn't go so well was that I just didn't plan ahead accordingly enough in terms of just seeing what other opportunities might be out there. So that's kind of where I'm at now. I'm exploring just any possible opportunity that might be out there for my benefit in terms of upward mobility. I probably waited a little too long for it, but hey, here I am, just making what I can, making the most of it. So that'll be one thing. But things that did go great, though, was just simply, I took part in design and a little bit of vehicle engineering on a certain vehicle that was just launched yesterday. So O3B 7 and 8 were successfully launched. So that's always a plus to have another one of your spacecraft out in orbit or getting to its orbit. So that's always a great thing. And so for next year, I'm just kind of looking forward to continue progression in my career. And I think an ultimate stretch goal, depending where I land, I'd like to have a little more flexibility in terms of having the opportunity to work remotely, as I do want to just take some time to explore a little more, spend some more time with family as I can. So hopefully with a little bit more of a flexible schedule, I'll be able to do that next year. So what I'm looking forward to.
Thank you. Awesome, Leo. That's great. At a personal level, I know that you did get to travel quite a bit this year too. Anything you want to share at a personal level, like locations? Which one was the best location that you went to? What fun activities did you partake in that? Anything you want to share with us?
Absolutely. Just off the top of my head, because it was one of my favorite experiences ever, going to Guatemala. And it's a tiny, tiny country, but full of culture, value, and outdoors adventures. I got to see a live volcano active, spewing lava, get to see the old Mayan ruins. One of my favorite cities in the world, Antigua, Guatemala, just small village-like feel, but definitely has a very trendy, modern take on it. And some of the best coffee you're going to have ever in your life. So it's definitely something worth the trip and worth the adventure if you're willing to do so. And just goals coming up with that. I plan on continuing traveling. I will be heading to Peru for New Year's.
Wow.
So after seeing the Mayan ruins in Guatemala, I'll be taking a look at the Inca ruins in Peru. So I look forward to telling you all about it.
Awesome. Definitely be pinging you about that one. Awesome. Thank you, Leo. And another feather on your little cap there. You chair the SHIP National Convention, and if I might say, at a personal perspective level observation, you did a fantastic job. Thank you for putting that on. I think that was a successful event. Thank you for leading that effort. So that should be one of your highlights as well. So thank you, sir. Definitely appreciate your support.
Thank you.
We have Diego Martinez. How's it going, sir? How are you? Retrospective for 2024. What went well? What didn't go so well? Learning opportunities at a professional level. And if you want to share any personal successes and or drawbacks, you can also do that as well.
Yeah, so I think what went well was definitely my internship that I had over the summer. I That went well because previously last year I was told about the position, and just to be told, just to say that you like something, but then to is one thing, but then to then be actually able to go through the position and do it and actually realize, hey, I really do like this position. It's amazing. And so now that's great because now I have a goal set for 2025, which is to be able to try to look for a job within liaison engineering because that's what I love. That's what I want to do in the field. So definitely be a goal for 2025. And I'm really happy that I got to do liaison engineering at my internship. And so yeah. And then let's see. Also for 2025, preparing for senior design. That's going to be fun. I'm definitely excited for that for the school. And yeah, and then just like Leo said, I think 2024 was also a year of travel for me, but not outside of the United States, more so in the United States. I got to go to many different states, 6 different states, just with all the traveling that I got to do, and it was really nice. It re really feel blessed to be able to do all that traveling. So yeah, thank you.
Was that traveling for work or vacation?
No, so I got to I drove to Kansas for airplane competition.
Okay.
And so I had to drive through, to get to Kansas, I had to drive through New Mexico, Northern Texas, and Oklahoma. So those are 4 there. And then for my internship, I went to South Carolina. That's 5. But then I also visited a friend up in North Carolina. So that's 6.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that insight. And we head over to Michelle Hasso. What went well at a professional level, bad, not so good, and maybe share some personal insight as well as what retrospect you have regards to 2024. Michelle?
Oh, what went well is having experiences on different projects this year.
Okay.
I was working on City of San Diego, working on business tax and rental tax license, but we could see from Measure E, we didn't vote to increase the sales tax. I wasn't for it, but uh, it was interesting to work for the city as a contractor and a consultant. And I also worked for Ventura County, the state of Nevada, but with that, and my experiences, I decided to move on to the federal sector. So I kind of really worked on that this year while my son, was working in New York City with his internship as a mechanical engineer. And, instead of like visiting him, I wish I could have done that traveling. My son had those opportunities. Well, I kind of had that opportunity to catch up on personally at home and also professionally. And I was in federal with a clearance job before, but it expires after 2 years. So I had to find a company sponsor. It took a couple of tries. When I got an offer with Leidos, I had an offer with Peraton, and Peraton didn't win the award, and it's affected by federal agency changes on the Border Patrol, Custom Border. And so they've never awarded to any company yet. And another one was on artificial intelligence. The company I currently work for, it didn't get awarded. So I did move companies, and I am going to work remotely in Florida. Also, like going to an Air Force base on occasion during the month, to support the U.S. Air Force contract for weapons and aircraft. And I was kind of inspired with that too, because I was doing this simultaneously while my son was interviewing for his entry-level job. So he was looking at government work, which I've encouraged him, rather than doing a defense contractor, just go in like my husband, be set for life, and don't worry about these budget cuts and things and the changes in the economy. Kind of been able to mentor on that. And I'm still, personally, just getting back into the, changes of working for federal. It's a huge change that I'm going to relocate to Florida, but I feel that, my son is at San Diego State, my husband's here. It's all doable. It's a short trip back and forth.
So you are relocating physically to Florida, is that correct?
Yes, I'm so excited because it's winter break. The timing, my son will be on winter break. He's going to join me.
Okay.
We leave on January 1st, and then I start January 6th. So I'll take him to do some sightseeing, and I'll be in the Panhandle area near an Air Force base. So I'll get him acquainted with the Air Force side and contracting. And we're kind of simultaneously doing things at the same time, because he's getting a clearance job. This week he had to do his fingerprints and do his clearance training. And I had to, restart my clearance training, and,
Okay.
So
it's a family effort now, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. I feel like we're all a team now.
There you go.
And I feel like this opportunity to reach out and kind of demonstrate what I've experienced, through, just as a parent too.
Yeah.
And then bringing another engineer. I am meeting up with some friends since I'm going to be in Florida, in my hometown. And, they have some kids in engineering, and they've had troubles finding a job.
Yeah.
So one is Vietnamese, and, I've been able to utilize, at UCLA, we had the SEED, Minority Engineering Program, and SHIP and NSB. I'm meeting with them on Friday, what can they utilize? Society of Women Engineers, leverage those events, and, they haven't really attended conferences, do those things. It just won't come to you, right?
Right, exactly.
I would say.
Yeah, you have to go seek for it. Correct. You definitely have to go
and getting
look
the
for
mentors, because I know, and I mentioned, my nephew is connected with you, and my son actually met you too at SDSU SHIP meetings.
Yeah.
So it's a small world.
Yeah, exactly.
The power of networking.
That is correct. Yes, ma'am. Great. Thank you for that insight. Thank you for the sharing of information and goals and retrospect that you have on 2024. So now we shift over to Mina. Thank you for joining us, Mina. 2024 in retrospect. What went well business-wise for you, and what obstacles did you encounter? What didn't go so well? And at a personal level, anything you want to share as far as good news, or maybe something that didn't go quite so well at a personal level? Mina?
Well, thank you, Lazaro, very much, and good day to everyone.
Yeah.
I always want to start off a year exciting with, opportunities, and that's exactly how I kind of started out this year with proposals and grant opportunities. So on the professional side, when you have an opportunity to grow your training development programs that I do, as for most of you know, that I have a etiquette business, and with that I provide etiquette education programming. And we usually take, and I say we because I've been able to add on an additional staff member, and that's where things started changing for Prestige Protocol. And that was early on in the beginning of the year, February and March, which is still winter, going into spring. There's a lot of opportunity where I'm able to meet my training and development needs through students. And when it comes to academia, it's run a little different than the corporate world. And so they all want all this training trying to fit it into the schedule is the other thing. So sometimes scheduling has been what detours from, keeping a schedule and having to reschedule other things and shuffle around. And so to my advantage, what I was able to do is I would put past experience into the proposal written part of things that I had to come up with. And it's a very competitive world to be a grant recipient. And so for the most part, if, having the skills and the life skills and the training background of, 12 years as a sole proprietor, but 20 in doing what I do, I had to kind of switch back and just say, well, it's been 12,000 people so far or individuals that I've been able to support with this. And so I'm flexible a lot with the opportunity that I could design and that I could develop my own efforts. And so I brought on a social media expert, and she has been really tremendous help to us for the very reason that when you bring on someone, there's cost involved. And so half of my budget has to be, determined. So those budget issues usually are an annual thing. It's seasonal as well. So I could have some very good months, and then I could, find it to be a whole different situation depending on the proposal or the services that I have on hand to deal with. And I try to be fair all the way across. So sometimes that's a little, it's more of I always would love to strive to exceed expectations to my clients. And I've done that. So I think that with that said, and bringing on board the opportunity to have my social media manager has historically grown our presence virtually. And we are looking at 145,000 followers. And from a simple example I want to share, I'm not tooting my own horn here, but I do want to let you know where I've elevated to. When you have an opportunity to do a dining course, and I have that media available to have someone guide what the procedures is of what we have to do. It's not all about the knife and fork, spoon, cup, and plate when you come to a table. It's knowing the first three things, and my specialties are business, social, and dining etiquette. The reason I bring that up is because some of those that are on this Zoom at this moment have been my students for quite a while, and mentees if you wish. And that's how I started off. It was students. And then the corporate world started coming in. And then I had, a pastor from a church say, I'd love for you to come, and the fire department. I could go on, but like I said, I don't want to toot my own horn here. I just want to share where some of these opportunities have come up because of the social media presence. Not everybody has the opportunity to come and afford to be in person with me. So they are very inclined to stay in virtual. So from one simple experience of how to show them how to cut a steak, yes, you use a knife and a fork, but you use a special knife. It's usually called a steak knife. And then I'm talking Western Hemisphere. I train in the USA. I could get a lot of feedback from the international folk. And I said, okay, this is great. But what you missed about this part of it is that if you would have been, and I don't say this on the comeback because I don't like to be like that. I'm very positive from the beginning and to the end when I know that they're so wrong. But they have, and many other virtual opportunities have a tendency of wanting to lash back at, that's not what it say. We do it this way. I'm in Colombia and we do this. I'm in New Jersey. I do this. And hey, that's all great and good, but just don't eat with your hands. Well, in some countries we do, like in India. It's like, okay, I know where I'm going with this person. So challenges, I wanted to bring that in as to it's not always an easy training. And I'm very mindful of the international awareness. That's why international protocol and corporate etiquette are the two things I trained for in 2009, came out ahead with the Boeing company who put me through that training after waiting 3 years because of budget. So I came back and brought it back to the corporate world, and then from there I started spinning off to other companies that saw what I was doing. So again, if you'd like me to call tooting my own horn, I'm very grateful for that, because going back to the story of what I just said that went so well, 8 million plus viewers from that steak knife cutting. I went through a tutorial and I had like a 30-second or probably, yeah, 45-second tutorial that was recorded. I had no idea I was going to go that viral. I really didn't. I actually felt nervous about that. I said, where is this going to take me next? Right? And so the one thing that I'm fearing or I'm kind of not very comfortable with is AI.
Okay.
And that AI is another story to talk with altogether, especially in what I do and I train. My information gets copied.
Mm.
I could tell someone's probably going to pick up my voice and eventually say something with it too. That's where I'm scared.
Mm.
I have a lot of requests from investors. I do not accept those. So I just want to tell you this is part of my challenge. What doesn't work well? I have over 3,000 that I haven't answered.
Mm-hmm.
I can't keep up with it, guys.
Right. Yeah.
So I can use some help there.
Okay.
Either that or I'm going to think in the next couple of years, that's it. I don't need this extra security stuff. And if I show you in my internal security things of what, because when I debuted it, we went really well. And then through the time, people start knowing and following those that are doing really well. And then you start getting all these offers. That's not me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not ready for that. I'm comfortable at the level that I am with those that know me and know my style.
Yeah.
I'm not out for competition.
Yeah.
So that's where I have been able to, am I going to continue this or am I not? So that's something I need to take into consideration and think maybe differently, but it's for further discussion for me and my team into next year.
Yeah.
Thank you for the privilege of allowing me to share.
No, thank you, Mina. Thank you for that insight. It's an interesting situation and conundrum you're finding yourself in. So thank you for sharing that with us. Penelope Romero, you're from, I believe, the acting vice president for the IEEE at San Diego State. Welcome. How are you today? I believe this is your first time Cafecito Chats, correct? Okay. Thank you for joining.
I also want to introduce myself since it is my first time. So yeah, my name is Penelope Romero, but you guys can call me Penny. I think that's one of my biggest proud moments for 2024. I feel like it's been a very transformative year for me.
Okay.
It's kind of weird to look back. It doesn't feel like it's been just 1 year. Just to name a few goals I've had this year. I transferred to San Diego State this January as an electrical engineer student. And I think most of my growth came from this semester, which was me being more active in IEEE. And I started as secretary, but as time went on, there came an opportunity for me to be acting vice president. And from there, actually, just 2 weeks ago, I was able to accept the role of vice president officially for IEEE. So that's been very nice. Thank you. Yeah, it's been a very rewarding experience for me. And also being able to connect with SHIP. I feel like SHIP has been a very helpful organization to me as well for networking. And it's been a great resource to meet new professionals like you guys. I've learned a lot and I hope to get more involved next semester. I didn't get quite the chance this semester as much as I would have wanted to, but even then, like the 2 times I went to SHIP, I found them extremely rewarding and I value SHIP a lot. So I hope to be more involved this coming year. Some of the challenges I would say that was big for this year for me, mainly it came from, teamwork and my involvement with IEEE. So I thought, I think it came with very unique challenges that I hadn't foreseen before. I mean, I've been part of like group sports, group activities. I'm very group oriented. But I think it was I had good opportunities to really refine my skills in communication with people and clarify, if there was some sort of misunderstanding to, talk to them in private, make sure we're on the same page. If there's any miscommunication, to talk it out and make sure we're all working as a team and there's no misread messages that, someone's doing better than someone else, because at the end of the day, we're a team and a team works together no matter what someone may contribute, because in the end, it is a group effort. And, we're an organization, and that work and that effort we all put in it together, it shows. And it's been a very rewarding experience. And I couldn't be more thankful for it. So yeah, thank you so much for letting me share that.
Sure. Thank you. Thank you, Penelope. Thank you for jumping in and sharing that retrospect on 2024 that you just did. It's awesome.
Welcome on board, Penny.
Yes, I hope to see
Thank
you
you.
here more often, and you'll definitely take advantage of any of the conversations that we have and bring any of the topics that you want to the table, and we'll definitely have a discussion on them as well for 2025. So we're open for that. Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. Lorena Quiroz, thank you for joining us from Director from the Career Services at UCSD. You've been MIA for a while. Welcome back. How is everything going in retrospect 2024? How did the year go? Good, the bad, the maybe not so great, and the 2025 outlook that you have, professional and personal.
Definitely. Thank you for having me. Like, I know it's been a while.
Yeah.
I've been very busy. I'm just for those that don't know me, I'm Lorena from UCSD. I work at the Career Center, so like I can relate with what Michelle was saying. Like, a lot of just the opportunities that do exist with students and any professionals. So it's good. It's been a really very rewarding year. I've had great opportunities not only on the professional level, but also the personal level, and very busy, very busy that I was MIA just because I had a lot of commitments during this time, but just hopefully next year will be a little bit better. I can be able to jump in and just provide some great insights. Again, there's been so much, I continue working with so many students at all levels, undergrad, graduate, and of course PhD, and then of course a lot of employers. So the opportunities do exist. This is where I come in and talk about how the connection, the networking, the career conversations you have with those professionals out there is always going to be very good to have for those that are still within the university and growing within their career. So just again, very, very fortunate this year. I had great opportunities. Some challenges, I think we all have some challenges throughout the year in the sense of not having enough time for things, wanting to invest a little bit more on other things. But, I think, again, I see it as more of a learning curve rather than more of a oh, what didn't go wrong? Well, just again, sometimes things will go really well, and sometimes there's going to be learning opportunities that you will be doing better. I am hoping to do more. I took a certification to be able to be the trainer for different things. And so campus-wide at UCSD, I will be training students more on the mentorship role of how to work with others when it comes to opportunities and different things like that. So I'm very happy about that. I do supervise a lot of student interns, so that has kept me really, really busy, but very, very, again, very fortunate to be able to dive into the new year and just excited to see what it brings. And so I'm hoping that everything will be well. So yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. I'm only here for a little bit, but I'm glad to see all of you.
Thank you, Lorena. Great insight. Thank you for your sharing for that. We go to Ken Guento. Ken, any retrospective insight that you have for 2024, the good, the bad at a professional level, as well as maybe some personal insights from you, sir?
Yeah, I'll try to make it mine's kind of brief too. So the main good thing for me this last year is that I got to be able to move to the Bay Area and be able to get accepted to the master's program I was interested in, and the way I was picking this program, I was looking for things that could offer me things that I was interested in the future. And the program's in biotechnology. So coming from an engineering degree, I wanted to make sure that I was still able to fulfill those, requirements. And I was. And so I also, this was the only program I applied to. And I wasn't, going to apply to another program before not, hearing back from just this program. And that's usually a little bit of a, different strategy that's, sometimes suggested when they ask, when they, and during this period where sometimes people want you to apply to multiple ones, but I can honestly say I'm a little bit stubborn. So sometimes that kind of works for me. I think that my stubbornness is I usually like to just kind of stick to the plan I kind of put for myself. And it worked out, so I like that part. But other things that didn't work out is that I haven't been able to find a job that it's like in my field, I've had a few offers, but I didn't decide to pursue them because I think those offers might put me in a kind of like what Leo was mentioning, in a stagnant position where it would be hard to advance, and I didn't want to stay in a stagnant position because then I think it would be difficult to continue with my other plans. So it's been kind of challenging to find that right offer there, but I think also like Lorena was mentioning, it's more like a learning thing, more learning curve. So I'm taking it as a learning curve and trying to still identify the right employer for me to have that flexibility with those plans and still provide good finance for me. Yeah, so yeah, that's my quick one. And in terms of next year, something fun is that, as some of you might know, I used to live in Japan for a while and used to travel to Japan very often before the pandemic, because I got to learn the language. It's been like 10 years, 11 years since I've already kind of picked up the language. And so, my level is pretty advanced, not perfect, but very fluent. And so starting next year, I'll be starting to visit again. And I've been networking with like a PhD lab there that I'm interested in for continuing to a PhD program. And I've been in contact with this lab for like 3 years. And, I've been going to kind of, reunite with several people that I've met there starting this New Year's when I go there, and also in March when I go there again. So that's something that's good. So I'm kind of paving my road to that direction as well.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ken.
Yeah.
That's great.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, go ahead.
No, that's it. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
Good. Thank you
Yeah.
for listening.
Yeah, Michelle is, I believe, 50% Japanese, so she wrote something Ogenki
Yes.
desuka. So I have no
Ogenki
idea.
desu ka?
I have no idea what that means.
Genki desu. It means,
Genki
how are you?
desu.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's good. Thank you.
I swear I could speak more Spanish though.
Okay,
Because
okay.
from taking it in high school and being around my husband.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
I think Japanese is a hard language though.
Okay.
So, but
Yeah.
it's great. It came in useful for some company events that I did.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I'm sure that will come in useful for you.
Okay.
Yes, I also have my resume in Japanese as well.
Oh, there you go.
Using the Japanese style. So that's
Very
what I used.
nice.
Yeah, I used to work in Japan as well. In
Awesome.
a clinic.
Awesome.
Very nice.
Awesome. Awesome.
My husband has picked up some Japanese
Okay.
from my mom.
Okay.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Awesome. Amina, you have
Thank
a
you.
comment? Question? Mina.
No, I'm sorry, but I do have to leave.
Okay.
I have
All right.
grandparents
Thank
who
you.
do get
Thank
picked
you,
up from
Mina.
school.
Appreciate it.
Okay.
Thank you, Mina.
Good luck, everybody.
Yeah, thank
Talk
you.
to you soon.
Talk to you soon.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
God bless.
Then we'll head over to Lourdes Sarmiento, 2024 retrospect, the good, the bad, professional, and at a personal level, obstacles that you had to overcome as well.
Hi everyone. I did pretty well achieving my goals. I wanted to pay it forward and pay it back by going to conferences that helped me when I was in college. So I was a mentor for the HSF STEM individuals, which is teaching juniors how to succeed and stuff. That was pretty fun. Just mentored a few other people. Work-wise, I got more projects that I'm starting now. That will probably be completed in 6 months or so. So I'm very excited for that. And personal ones, it was just like focus on my health, focus on my mental well-being, but also physical well-being. So it was pretty fun. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Thank you, Lourdes. That's great insight. Health-wise, be it mental health or physical health, is always a big one for a lot of people, right? So just keep that up, and that should take precedence over almost anything else. I know that sometimes we're bogged down with money, but if you don't have your health, doesn't matter how much money you have, you can't really do anything. if your health is lacking. So that's great insight, Lourdes. Great insight. And we have Victor Robles from Texas. Sir, how are you?
Mr. Herrera, how you doing?
Doing well, thank you, sir.
Yeah, good to be here. I guess has been a pretty good year for me. I've been very blessed. First and foremost, glad to go and be here on this meeting. But I think everybody, you, Mr. Soto, Ms. Martinez. But yeah, this year, I think one of the highlights was being able to go in and go do a poster presentation at the National Academies of Sciences, Engineering, and Medicine in Washington, D.C. So having been selected to go in and do that, that was probably one of the best highlights of this year, because I never imagined I was able to go in and be able to do that, especially since I'm still at community college and there were a lot of PhD students there. And then being able to go in and go back to do a second round of the internship that I had the previous year. So an HVAC engineering company. Now they're owned by REAM, which water heaters, boiler makers. They're the ones that pretty much are number one in the nation. So I did that for the summer, and I was able to go in and come back for the fall. So for this semester, along with that, I became the public relations chair for the cloud computing club at my school. Able to go in and do a lot of get some scholarships. I'm a Pepsi scholar, and I did a lot of conferences. I was not able to go in and go to SHIP conference, but hey, there's always a next year. So thanks for the support for everybody. Here that at least gave me some guidance. Could go in and have the budget for it to go, but there's, like I said, there's always a next year. And other than that, I got accepted to a program that is with robotics, AI, and nanotechnology, and that started in October. I haven't posted all that all the other great things that have happened. This semester. But yeah, other than that, like you said, my health. Taking care of myself, and continue to go in and get involved. And that's pretty much now for 2025. I'm already making the move for next fall to go in and transfer. I got accepted to all the universities that I applied to. They're only here in Texas. I'm not going outside of Texas because it will be more expensive. And so I'm not trying to do that maybe for a master's, but yeah, so I'm excited. We'll see what happens. This upcoming semester, I know there's more opportunities for other conferences, other opportunities, but yeah, I'm very blessed to go and be here, and thanks for all the support that I have had here.
Awesome. Thank you, Victor. Thank you for sharing some of that. That's great information. Great to see and hear. So let's see. We talked a lot about, there's several things about artificial intelligence, AI. That's an interesting topic. So I'm going to go back to Michelle Hasso. You work in cybersecurity. So how is AI being affected, and what steps are being taken, and how, from your perspective, is AI good or bad? And AI isn't something that just popped up this year, 2024, but it certainly is something that has been more on top of mind. But I want to get your perspective on AI on this particular year.
Well, I wouldn't say that I'm in cybersecurity area, more government contracting, doing software quality, test automation.
Okay.
But working with CGI Federal, they as an organization have done a restructure to compete with, other government contractors in the federal space. So with that restructure, they're on the single page that we are going to provide the government with AI strategies, and they publicize that. I think the rest of CGI as on the U.S. whole might have different contracts. They have one with Los Angeles County, City of Los Angeles, San Diego, banking, PNC Bank, which is an East Coast bank. They have one here in San Diego. But AI has become a big thing on the federal side because, it's really growing. So, but it's slower on the government side than there is in the private industry. I have gone back to have some discussions with my alma mater at UCLA, and they actually did a restructure in their IT department where UCLA is wanting to be the top university in California, and they want to be they're competing against UCSD, UCI, UC Berkeley, wanting to be the top university in AI. They actually this year recruited someone from Pasadena that was on the NASA Pasadena team, and he has like a PhD in computer science from USC and has taught AI. They recruited him as a consultant to bring him in. And, I just have been really following AI more so, looking at, how this is going to affect government contracting. It is good field along with cybersecurity. How does it affect us? It's going to affect our jobs. I think, being in the software area, like I was saying, I'm meeting with my friend's daughter who's a third year in UCLA. She hasn't really been as proactive about her internships. And, she's majoring in computer science. Now, it's so different than when I was a student in the 90s. We didn't have, the internet to tell us like how to fix a coding script. Right. And so that's one reason my husband became a mechanical engineer, because he's just like, I took Fortran, didn't get it. And it was difficult. And now I can plug in, like I want to code something and automate it and plug it into Microsoft Copilot, and it'll actually tell me like how to code in Java or how to code in C++. But I do see that I like the government niche because you're working in cleared security environments. So we aren't allowed to use these AI technologies because of government security reasons. These are open, environments that are a risk to our government security. Right. So you still have to have that knowledge, skill set, and expertise coming in, with a computer science or electrical engineering degree or computer engineering degree. Even mechanical engineering. My husband's in UAVs, and my son's going to be doing Navy ship design and different parts on the ship. So all of that, is not going to be affected as much on AI compared to the software side.
Yeah, awesome. Thank you, Michelle. Great insight. Leo Soto, how is AI affecting Boeing at an industry level to some extent? And that's one question. And then what do you think and how do you perceive AI affecting our society in general?
Hey, Lázaro, great questions, both of them. So the first take, how is AI affecting Boeing? In the immediate employee interface, we really haven't been affected by it because we're still very day-to-day, very just continuing our work, et cetera. So implementation of new technologies does take time, especially in the aerospace industry. So we likely won't feel the impacts of AI anytime soon.
Okay.
So that's just straightforward response. And then as far as how will it change, like our society just going forward, I think it's probably the next evolution of just our lives, right? In our lifetime, we went from having just old cell phones to now having capability with smartphones of doing like our entire life through a phone, right?
Yeah.
And how much easier is it going to get now with AI being able to just give it a simple command and it dumping it out for us? I think it can turn to make things a lot easier for us in terms of whether it's planning, house hunting, shopping experiences, any kind of user experiences with customer service. I think that all of that will be revolutionized. If any potential downside, it might make us a little more susceptible to like immediate gratification. We already have that with our smartphone capability, but AI might just make that increase exponentially, because now we're going to get answers potentially even quicker, even more rapid. So there's a give or take there, but overall I kind of like the idea of obviously things becoming easier, and I do think AI is the future of technology, and I think we as individuals just have a responsibility to learn as much as we can about it, and we'll see what the future holds. But I do feel it's a positive step forward overall.
Okay, yeah, and thank you for that insight. Great perspective, both you and Michelle, in regards to AI. Obviously, 2024 is a big boom for this particular type of new technology, new aspect that has gone mainstream. I believe before that we weren't really privy to, and it wasn't mainstream conversation. But now, since 2023, at the middle of 2023, 2024, it has become very prevalent, right, and very mainstream. Anybody has heard about it, and yeah, Michelle.
Just to add too, I wanted to take care of things before I moved.
Yeah.
So I went to the doctor's office, and at the doctor's office, she asked permission. Can I use the AI meeting note take? Now you could have the Zoom meetings,
Yeah.
and, record the meeting, and it will generate the minutes for you.
Yeah.
So the doctor says, I can focus just on talking to you
Yeah.
rather than typing at the same time.
Yeah.
And it will generate the notes of our conversation.
It's interesting enough. I went to the dentist. When was it? A couple of days ago, and same thing. The dentist individual said, "I'm gonna be taking notes with some sort of AI admin system that they installed." So they recorded everything. I guess they had a little microphone and they were talking to it, and they would say, "This is blah blah," and I think that records and archives the notes instead of doing it on paper. So that's an interesting take and an interesting use of dictation in AI. I'm assuming that the AI system can format and take some of that information, extract it, and put it into a format that they utilize for some sort of form that they have to fill out. So that's pretty interesting, to be honest with you. Yeah.
So definitely you see it becoming mainstream now in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And more so this year.
Yeah, great. Yeah, so, we segue a little bit into the AI conversation, but I think it was beneficial for all of us to hear. And we're going to go around the room. Since Retrospect 2024, anything to add, Leo?
Not much. Just I'm glad to hear all the great things that everybody's have accomplished, and I look forward to continue hearing great stories in 2025.
Right.
So best of luck, everyone.
Thank you, Leo. We're going to go down to Penelope Romero. Any additional insights from you?
I have none to add, but I'm also happy to hear everyone's been doing great in 2024, and I hope that continues in 2025. And hopefully the whole AI thing, we get to see more of how, hopefully it'll be ethically used as well. But yeah, happy holidays, and I hope everyone has a great break.
Thank you.
New Year.
Thank you, Penelope. Michelle, any last comments as we wrap it up?
Oh, thank you for the ones that you invited, like Lorena from UCSD, and and others. It's very insightful.
Yeah, it's an open forum, and everybody is free to chime in and bring great perspective. So that's why I invite all of them. Victor, any last comments as we close it out, sir?
No, I just want to go and thank you for having me here, for being able to go and always come back and have that support. I think that's the most important part of coming to these meetings, especially I know that almost 90-something% or 99% are from California, and I'm always the one that it's from Texas. But yeah, I'm glad that you opened the door for for me, and it's already been like 2 years. It seems like it was yesterday, but I'm happy to be here, and I was glad to go in and hear about it, everybody's accomplishments and what they have planned for the future. So I wish each and everyone the best for 2025, and that may you be blessed with your families this holiday season. So Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Thank you, Victor. Great insight. And it's a pleasure having you here every single time that you're able to join. And you know that I send you a little message asking for you to jump in and join over text. And that's an invitation for everybody that's available. So thank you, Victor. And Ken Winto, our friend from San Francisco now. Any last words?
From the Bay Area. Yeah, same as everyone. Just, thank you for having us, Lazaro, and it's always a pleasure to hear from everyone. I personally like hearing, what everyone's doing, because especially now that I'm here, because it helps me kind of stay connected with, with San Diego, where I was born and stuff. I also kind of just want to add what Victor was saying about Texas, because he's saying he's the only one from Texas, but it reminds me, that I had a group of friends too from San Diego, and it's like a very handful, like 7, 8, or 9 of them, after they graduated from UCSD. They were with me in community college, then they transferred to UCSD, and then they decided to attend either grad school or medical school in the UT Southwestern. So some of them are in Texas. So, it just reminds me, it's San Diego also has, people going to Texas as well. Yeah. Lastly, just, happy holidays to everyone, and thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, Ken. Awesome, great insight. And from my part, thank you everybody for joining this year at whatever capacity you were able to. I hope that every single Wednesday that we had Cafecito Chats, every topic that you heard, that it left an impact in you. And even if you shared insight, I know that you reached quite a few people and made an impact yourself through this platform. So thank you for doing that as well. 2025, I think we're going to continue doing what we do every Wednesdays at 12, more or less. We will have Cafecito Chats, and we will continue bringing topics to the table and having conversations. And I invite you, Penelope, Leo, Ken, Michelle, Victor, Mina, Mr. Mike Cruz, and everybody else, Diego, that was here, to continue joining us and be able to partake in this type of conversations. From my perspective, I think 2024 was great. I believe that having the SHIP National Convention here in Anaheim was amazing. And thank you, Leo, for putting it together and leading as the chair for that particular convention. Sadly, I think the cost in California is excessive, so I don't know if we'll see it back anytime soon, to be realistic. So, I look forward to the Philadelphia one in 2025, which will happen in late October, the first couple of days of November. So be ready for that. And this goes for all the students and all the professionals. If you can start saving money for that particular effort, it doesn't matter if you think that you're going to get funded or not. I would suggest you start saving maybe $10 here and there, and you will eventually get some funding yourself. And if you can get reimbursed through your corporation or through your school, then that's even better. But at least you can start saving your spot and secure a location or spot for that particular convention. I know that I promote a lot of SHIP, but I think as Penelope and Michelle and everybody else here can attest, and obviously Leo Soto, who has the SHIP hat, they can we definitely attest that SHIP changes lives. And I know that with that, that's the mission that we have here at Cafecito Chats, to empower everybody to continue moving the needle forward at whatever capacity. We are a mix of professionals with various levels of experience from early entry individuals all the way down to students, sometimes even from the high school levels, have joined us through this past 2024. So with that, muchas gracias. This is the last Cafecito Chat for 2024. I look forward to seeing you in the next 2025 year during our Cafecito Chats. Muchas gracias. Feliz Navidad. We'll see you next time. Hasta luego. Bye-bye.
Gracias.